move on with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet, from what I can gather, they have a meeting and said they tell the students and the staff that you have, first I heard it was until August. And then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. You on some try and be morally right or whatever. And I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent, unless you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face. Yeah. It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council meeting. When I'm out of school, I'm just going to go. We out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just going to come to one. I don't care.
Let me get my share game on. You can get it. Okay. Gonna break the knowledge till I get finished.
Okay, all right. Good morning, family. We thank you so. Okay, and Miss Taya, we gonna do book club real quick, right?
Hold on 1 second, bro.
Okay.
Hold on. Give us 1 second, family. I see it didn't even put.
You know, for a while after 9/11, man, I couldn't go to the airport without going through TSA.
Hey,
like for real. Like, hey, come on over here. We got to take you to the room and pat you down.
I believe you.
You know, and it was interesting that when I asked was my name on any list, they got quiet. And so I would always, like, if I go visit one of my godmothers and I go to Miami, fly to Miami and that. Right. If I went to Fort Lauderdale Airport, it was rough, bro.
Wow.
It was rough. It was like, oh, we gonna go through this. Just like I might wear, some African clothes or whatever.
Right.
And I had to stop wearing them and wearing a baseball hat because they would like, okay, come on over here.
Facts.
And they would go through the full, pat down every little whatever. So I just got to the point where instead of going to Fort Lauderdale, I would fly to Miami International.
Wow.
And through there, the Cuban people work there.
Right.
And I would go through there, and I go through and it'd be the same thing. I'm like, damn, what y'all got me on? And so it got to a point when I would fly down there, because I'd be down there like once a month. I don't know what they thought I was on, but I was going to school, and I would, take some courses down there. Right. Where some of the coursework was.
And but that could be, they might be looking at, these little phones we got, it checks everything.
Right. And at that point in time, Google was giving locations and all the other stuff. So, yeah. So it got to a point in time where if I would go to Miami, then I'd take the red eye. Right. So I'd be there early in the morning thinking maybe I would, bypass that. Nope. So, well, after a while, I'm like, look, I don't want y'all dudes can't be checking me. I want her to do it or them to do it. And they were like, man, what? I said, no, bro. If I got to go through TSA and get patted down and checked, and you holding my time up, and I'm getting late to class, and I'm getting points and money deducted, then I'm going to enjoy it.
Right.
I'm going to enjoy it. And after a while, they quit. They was like, okay, well, we ain't going to do what's the name to mess with you no more. But, hey.
I get what you're saying. But this is the stuff. This is what This is where we at now. They done made America so uncomfortable for people is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, but this is what people don't understand that what it's turned into is what it's always been, a socialist state, right? So if people go read, there's 2 books, both of them by George Orwell, one called Animal Farm, and then one called 1984. Go read those 2 books, and he talks about how, and this is from a white author. He talks about how and Animal Farm takes place on a farm, and it just has certain animals playing certain groups of people. And I'm not going to give y'all the whole plot because I want you to read it. But certain animals are in charge of the way things function on the farm. Well, those are correlating to people that are in charge of certain things on the farm. This plantation. In 1984, which he wrote in 1948, and now it's probably on the banned book list, was about how Big Brother exists or is going to exist, where there's another entity that's in control by, these lovely devices that we call cell phones, which are not. They're more than that, because they're not only listening to what you are doing, but they're also tracking your location. And you can't turn the tracking off anymore. You used to be able to turn it off, but you can't turn it off anymore. And how you're being watched all the time. And I think that really a lot of people don't see or pay attention to the fact that, like, there's something much deeper, and I don't want to say sinister, but there's something much deeper, and I'm gonna say it just as I didn't want to say it, and much more sinister going on here about how we're being monitored as people. Now you have to make sure you have certain things if you travel to the airport. If you have a passport, take it with you when you go to the airport. Don't go to the airport without your passport. I don't care if you're flying from here to Chicago. Have your passport. It's a 20, 30-minute flight. It's a 4 or 5 hour drive. Have your passport with you.
But now, and this is the thing, and I agree with everything you're saying. But how do we get our people up to date on get passports?
Real quick. Either you get the passport, I'm not begging you to do a damn thing. It's like my son, 25, whatever. Hey, man, go get your passport. You're spending your money on whatever, anything else. And he found out when we went to Canada in January, hey, look, I needed my passport. Oh, Dad, I'm going to get. Okay, now we in March. I ain't begging you to do nothing.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying for the rest of them, because you know what I'm saying. You understand what's going on. I'm talking about for the people who don't know.
Well, the people like that don't parents,
know, they need sometimes your parents don't know. If the parents don't know, how the kids gonna know?
Right. Well, if you're a parent, and we have people here that are open because you're listening to this particular platform this morning, and this chat or podcast, get you. So I don't care how you save your money. Figure it out. It's $180 per person. If you have to get one person a month or one person every other month, get your passports for your family. And it ain't about running to Canada, because Canada and America is the same damn thing. Okay, let's be clear. There may be certain parts of Canada we might be able to go to, but trust me, if you cross, because if you go somewhere else, they may want to detain you for whatever reason, passport or not, especially because of the mess that America is involving itself in with everybody else. Right. Okay, so get your passports. It's important, but we ain't go. It ain't even domestic travel within the borders. Have your passport.
I agree with you, because, and like I say, I wouldn't, you need to have it, but I think the way the situations is and how intense everything and got, and how they gonna make it, you now I do believe you're gonna need your passport.
Yeah, you just need to have your passport for the mere fact that does it preclude that you, if somebody wants to detain you, they can do that.
Yeah, they can.
Don't give you no damn right no more than nobody else. Let's be clear,
facts.
Right? But it's also how you carry yourself if something happens. Facts. You know, hey, look, well, you know, so, hey, motherfucker, what the fuck you holding me up for? No, don't do that, because you're on the wrong side of the border for you to act that type of damn fool. What you want to do is whatever it is that you find, I'm willing to be patient, even if that misses my, like when we went to Canada, we was on the bus. If the bus took off, because the man at the border told my son, you need to have your passport. This ain't this, okay. Well, because now you got paid for the trip, which is cool, but if they kept your ass there all weekend, that ain't on me. You just gonna be sitting in the train station until we get back. And it's not duty free, or the wherever we was when we had to stop. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But next time, let's don't play around. Get your passport. And we need to be aware, whether that means traveling outside the country or in the country, because of what's going on. And now, I just read a news article that said y'all president, and yes, I said it, y'all president is talking about, because I didn't vote for either one of them. It's talking about having ICE agents at the airports for whatever reason he's talking about doing that stupid shit for, because the dude is a fucking idiot. Okay? There's something wrong with somebody who doesn't follow the law to declare war on other countries. And then I wish that senator that came up, come up again. Come up one more time. Come up to one of them that show the program we had. I want her to come up one more time. Actually, I do have the number to the person that is a representative. I should send them an email, because if y'all didn't have issue with them before, you should definitely have issue with them now and start a process to figure this mess out. But if palms are getting grease and y'all, what y'all call them, the FBI?
Friends, brothers, and in-law.
Yeah. If y'all got the FBI in there and everybody getting straight, then that means that y'all, you compromised as well.
Well, you know what it was. You know most of our people is compromised.
Yeah. So
now, I mean, in that political, let me rephrase
in politics, you're definitely compromised. And there's nobody that can sit around there and say that they're not. Because even with the new people, if they get in there and win, you want your hands in the pot too. Don't play. Don't play. Do not play. I would probably be the only dumb man. Sorry, I got to catch up on y'all. Just make y'all coffee real strong since I missed y'all last couple weeks. I'd probably be the only dumbass that don't even do it, because that's selling my soul. Everybody else want a piece of the pie. You're not seriously talking about making the changes in any system that's designed not to change and to keep people at one level versus having another group of people at another level. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I agree with you.
No, when we talk about, well, I'm running for this position and that position, and these are the things I'm standing on, you're also trying to dip your hand in the pot.
I mean, just look at it, because I was, like I said, I was just on Facebook. I was looking at a young lady. She was talking about wanting to get in people, like saying the candidate should be able to come on and, have talks. But, you got what it is. In my humble opinion, I think with this mayor, what he did was, in my humble opinion, is that when he didn't have to do no debates, it made it where like other people didn't have to do no debates. And his wife never had to do none at their first time. So, some of the council people had to do it, but not all. Some wanted to do it, but we allowed, and I mean the residents, when I say that, we allow the few to rule the majority.
And that's problematic, which is part of the reason why I want to start this small organization is stop sitting here sleeping on these people, and then you want to have complaints later on about nothing getting done. No, you can't complain. You can't come to me. I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna say it a million trillion times. I'm a school teacher. I'm an educator.
Right.
If I'm not doing my best job for your child, I want you to come and have a meeting with me and tell me that because of what you know, how can I best accommodate your child for the best outcome and the best success for the year or the remainder part of the year or whatever we have. Come and help me. But if you're not coming to help, if you're not coming to advise me about your child because you have your child more than I have your child, then shut your fucking mouth. You can't tell a damn thing to me because that tells me you don't know anything about education, number one. Number two, you don't know anything about your own child. Where you can come and say, my child learns best this way, or these are some issues that we're dealing with, or my child was born with this or with that or the other. And so therefore, I've worked with my child to the level I can, and I'm going to come in and talk to you and help you about how to best help our child moving forward. It's the same thing here. If you got these people who are running for these positions and they're not willing to sit here and be an open book.
Well, you know what that is, though, Brother Elliott. They don't, because they know they really not in it for the people.
Well, and we've had this discussion, I don't know how many trillions of times, too. So then what's the point of you running? How are you going to make any changes? You're not talking about making any changes for anybody. I'm going to say it again. The cream come to the top of the butter. Take the cream, but spread the butter on everything else. And then who cares?
Well, I think once you can see what it is, you got, the black community in Flint is divided. It's more than divided. This shit is fractured, it's scattered. And you got different cliques. Until we can get out of that clique politician type situation, because we've been inbred with it from Republican and Democrat. You have to pick a side. Now you got independent. But until you can get the people like what you want to start, you get like-minded people together, I believe you can change the situation. But, and I say it again, and I always say it, and I try to use the Bible version of it when God was talking to Moses, when he said, let the elders die off. And that's down there where we in the situation where we at right now. I'm not saying, but that's even including me, because we would be considered elders, even myself. Because you looking at it, like I said, man, Winters was having a conversation when we was like, look at the ones who we've been arguing with. Most of the people we've been getting into it with in this political thing is in their 70s.
Okay, but now, if these people are in their 70s, what wisdom are they passing down? Because I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to pass you down wisdom. So sometimes so if somebody's older than me by 10 years, so I'm 62, they'll be 72. I need to shut my mouth and listen to your wisdom. But if your wisdom is nothing but rhetoric, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to destroy your rhetoric.
But that's the thing. It's like to me, from what I was seeing, it's like Flint had a way it had it set up, how I guess I'm assuming the way the blacks had their thing set up. It somehow it went from, I'm assuming when Mayor Neely got in, from what I was seeing, he jumped the line. And it seemed like he kind of messed up, threw everything off out of whack. So as you seeing, you still see the two factions and the two different parties. You got this side, you got that side, then you got in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who can you get that can unite both sides? You're gonna have to unite, in my humble opinion. You're gonna have to get the people that's with the current administration. You're gonna have to unite you're gonna have to get the people that's with the past administration.
Okay.
How can you get them people together to bring a new administration and new council people that will work for the residents?
Okay, well, so the first and foremost, has anybody really sat down and identified the issues that we have in the city? Now, we talk a whole bunch about them. We talk about the school. We talk about because it's governed by its own board. We talk about city, the blight that's going on in the city. We talk about lack of opportunity that's going on in the city, and those are things that have to be discussed openly and honestly about what the needs of the residents are. I know I'm gonna answer Denise's question in a second. The needs of the residents are. So if we went from 400,000 people at what time in the 60s because of what was going on and now we talking about maybe 80,000, what happened? So we lost industry, we lost jobs, we lost opportunity. Number one, if you bring that back, then the question's over with. It's not like that there's not enough land here and money here and all the other things that are here, because once again, we see that the city is looking towards turning towards a college town. That's not a problem. I have no issue with that, right? So you got Michigan State here, University of Michigan here, you got Kettering here, you got the hospitals not going anywhere or whatever. You got all of these entities that are here that if the water was a crisis, you would have left. Okay, let me say that one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear me. If the water was an issue, now that don't mean when I turn my faucets on, I let the water run because it stinks. Even after I take a shower, I let the water run, warm up, and then turn it down cool because I don't want that other stuff. And I'm still considering to get a whole house filter, whether they lying to me about what's in the water or not. Just for the mere fact that I know when I open the water and turn the spigot on, I smell it. Okay, so whether that's still poor management, whether that's still and all of this, the EPA says stuff's done or whatever, they're lying because it's not. If you can still smell it. Thank you. And the other part about that is,
and can you tell them what ward? You ain't gotta say what street. What ward is you?
I'm live in the 7th ward on Lynn Street. I'll tell them where the hell I live. I don't give a damn.
I just want them to know this is happening on the south side.
It's on the south side.
This ain't the north side we talking about.
No, I'm on the south side.
Right. And his water
still smells. After all of this time, they saying this stuff is clean. No, it's not. Because water, how in the hell does water have an odor? The only time you can go near water that's a moving body and have odor is when it doesn't move. Because water's alive. So the stuff that they showed us when they showed us the stuff in the pipes is not lead. That's the living organisms that flow through the water pipes. Come on, 2 + 2. Use your fucking head. This is science. That's the reason why when they tell us to drink certain water, what do they put? They remineralize it or whatever after they put it through a process to take the living things out of it so they can put other stuff in it. And they're supposed to put it on the label, what it is. But if you open a bottle of water, it don't smell. And if the plant is bad, then you should take some of that money that you've absconded with and fix the damn plant. But that's not the case, because you got people coming up to council talking about, I still need millions of dollars with no receipt. I remember that particular one that I was sitting at, even though I left early because it was boring. Okay, they want to come up there and just say we need this money, and I'm glad a couple of the council members shut it down for the mere fact that you ain't coming up with no receipt. You just talking about you got your hand out.
And that's what I do. What's up, Yogi G? And thank you for everybody that's tapping in. Thank you. And that's why I agree with you, Brother Elliott. I'm just trying to figure out, like, hey, is nobody mad about what's going on now?
No, nobody's gonna be mad because we're complacent, and it's not okay for us to be complacent, because then you sacrifice your future for your complacency.
Yeah, because it's like,
that's no different than, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
it's no different in school. If you're complacent, you want to argue with me, fine, but you better have your facts about your child. What does that mean? Then I'm gonna ask you, well, what are you doing with your child for the 16 hours you got your child? What are you doing with them to make sure that their stuff is up to par? And then if I'm wrong, I can correct my wrong. If I'm not doing enough, I can correct my not doing enough. But if you're not doing anything, you can't come and say a damn thing to me.
No, because it's not. Because I'm listening to what you're saying. Because I was looking at when I went to the FNU meeting this month.
Yeah.
And when I saw the mayor, that wasn't nothing, but it was campaigning season. You would have just got mad and left.
Yeah.
You would have got mad. You probably would have got to arguing with the mayor because
you already know
they let him come in there and campaign for that $1 million for the residents for to pay for this water bill. That they only kicking it down the curve.
Man, see.
Yeah, and it's like when we seeing it, it's like what we supposed to do. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you got to get the factions out. Like why you think so many people in there they wanted you to run for the 7th ward because they know what you gonna do. It ain't that you got to get out here. See, it ain't about you. Ain't got to get out here. Cause I'm listening. I'm watching people do videos now. To me, they done learned the game of playing politics.
Yeah, that's all it is, playing a game.
Yeah, because they see how the mayor study doing these campaign things. Is he disguising them as press conferences and stuff? But you should see more people should be like, what's up with the water? He telling the people we need $1 million for the raise your water bill. Not saying we need $1 million for you can be able to drink your water. We need $1 million for we can help with the stabilized water.
Because that's coming from KWA. That's coming from them. They talking about raising water rates.
I mean,
so here's the other part about that. GLWA.
Yeah.
Okay. So either they all the same.
Yeah.
So either way, then instead of you saying we need to campaign for $1 million to keep your rates low, I would rather you say, hey, man, we're going to raise your rates, but we're going to destroy the old plant and we're going to recreate a new one. So it's going to be better. Mm-hmm. Because the old plant ain't working no more. It's not able to handle whatever's coming through the water because, listen to me carefully, ladies and gentlemen. This is a science for you. It's a little science for you. Sorry. All of the water in the world is polluted because of the industrial revolution and industrialization. All AWWLLL, and I spelled it that way on purpose. All of the water is polluted because of that. The only reason why Flint became an issue is because we have black leadership, and this is to put a black eye on the black leadership. And what people are not doing is they're not saying we're going to internally correct this instead of saying I need $1 million in order to cover the water bill. You got $1 million here. You ain't got to come and ask us for no more money when you already got it here. Just take the money and fix it. Because if you had $94 million in ARPA money, right, you'd have more than enough money to say, you know what, everybody's water bill at zero.
What about the $20 million that the Dr. Weaver left that he allegedly found?
Okay, so but if you found it,
94.
So you got $115 million, $114 million that you could have used to do whatever with that was necessary. And so with $114 million, the streets are still fucking raggedy.
Terrible.
Okay. You can't go down, coming here. I go up Lapeer, then down Court Street between Harrison and 475. This raggedy as hell. You got to drive in the other lane. And if you ain't watching, you're going to tear a car up.
Yes.
Because you're on the other, you got to drive on the other side. Meanwhile, the turning lane when you want to turn up Harrison is raggedy as hell. But yet you fixing stuff downtown, cool. Block that off and fix that as well.
Facts.
When the Krim was here, they blocked the street off and fixed this and hurry up and did all because you want to make it cool for the people that are coming, the white folks that's coming in from out of town. And I'm not knocking that, right? I'm not talking about race, kind of, sort of, but not really, but a little bit. But you want to fix it because you have a major event that's a worldwide known event that you bring in people from different countries, Ethiopia, Kenya, all of these other countries that you bring them in, and you want them to say something nice about the place, and they do, because that's when it becomes hospitable. You know, everybody's cool. It's like right now it's getting near Easter time, so everybody want to be saintly. Get the fuck out of here. And you go and you fix a couple of streets along the route, but you're not fixing a major street. You got $194 million. $114 million. You got $1 million of that right there. There you go. Okay, we gonna get there.
You said Easter. No, I just I know. Everybody want to be righteous.
Man, Easter and Christmas. That's the only time you motherfuckers want to be religious and be nice. Hi, how are you? Don't motherfucker, you ain't talk to me in 363 other damn days. Don't start talking to me now.
Water still stink.
Why? I'm saying again. I have to let my water run, and then when I get my bill, the bill is up because I had to let the water run before I can use it. Make that make sense when you have the money and the funds to do so. Make that make sense where instead of if you want to be an independent city, which you didn't, which is the reason why when we talked about, who was that talked about how these families made back in the 60s, made these deals with these other groups.
Oh, that was somebody in the chat. Remember?
But that was somebody in the chat. But somebody also wrote that in the book too.
Yeah, but somebody in the chat brought that up, said you got to deal with these families.
Yeah.
They were saying the Boule said a lot of these blacks did.
Yeah, but they ain't even black folks. That's white folks doing that too.
Yeah, no, they said, but the blacks did the deals with the white families. With the white folks. That's why you see certain ones be so-called political savvy around here. I'm just saying, it wasn't what Mickey said, family. Let me clear that up. It was in the chat, and then he read a book too.
Yeah, so if you got these families who are making these deals so that they can continue to be prominent, even though they're behind the scenes, so that they can continue to be prominent and continuing to make money off the town and off the townsfolk, then that's problematic. But okay, independent of that, what are we doing? Independent of that,
participating.
We're participating in the foolishness. You good? I ain't mean to cut you off.
Good.
Okay.
I was just putting up what Yogi said. Even here, we have our gas and electric company polluting our water and getting paid to do so. Our bills are astronomical.
Okay. So then, at what point in time is the untelevised revolution take place?
You know what, brother? I don't know. I've been looking for the freedom fighters here.
We don't have none here. Well, we don't. The only freedom fighters we got here is you and me and oh man, what's your girl?
Winnie.
Yeah, that's it. Because we the only ones that you can't pay me to sell my soul.
Yeah,
you can't pay me to sell my soul. As much as you talk about if somebody offer you $10 million, you're a damn liar.
I wouldn't take it.
You just saying
I'll be trying to.
We're gonna take the money.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the money, but you ain't getting my soul. That's what you're not gonna get.
But you know what? The reason I probably wouldn't take the money, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't take it because they will kill you for taking that money.
Yeah. You not
see, they will kill you.
Put you and your family
at risk.
You put y'all at risk for taking their money and not conforming to what they want. It's a mob mentality.
Yeah.
This is a mob mentality. So we can't talk about the Sicilians and the Italians. We do the same damn thing.
Oh, facts.
We do the same thing. So my whole thing is this. So if we're not talking about and all of these people that shut up, bro. Y'all not revolutionary. Because number one, you don't study what revolution is. That's number one. That's not what you're doing. You're not doing that. Number two, you have no clue what it is, because that means sometimes you have to shut down systems and be prepared for what the repercussions will be.
Facts.
And we're not ready because we're too soft.
Facts.
We're too soft. We like the comfortable, cushy things. We want to be able to go on our vacations. We want to be able to make sure our power is turned on and our water is turned on. Because I had somebody ask me this morning, do you need a whole house? No, I don't need no whole house generator. If the power go out due to a storm, shit, I'm straight. I know how to survive in that bullshit. Done it before. If the power go out because somebody cut the power off, cool, no problem. Oh, y'all did some sort of stuff and hit the grid, and so therefore we down. Not a problem. I know how to. I got tents. I sleep outside. I know how to do that. Most of us don't know how to do that. Most of us be like, man, what you mean? I ain't going out there with them bugs, man. Fuck that. I'm talking about living and surviving.
Because we had everything. I don't think people realize what what living on the plantation is.
No,
they think they off of it.
No.
The plantation, didn't they have a job for you?
Yeah, but see, here's the only other part about that is living on the plantation. They had a job for you, but you also knew how to survive. You know how to make, even though we talk about it now, Yeah, okay, well, they threw the pig's guts out. That's all right. I'll make a meal out of that. No. Oh, okay. Well, we made they didn't call them hush puppies because all we had was gruel and cornmeal. And maybe a little bit of fat back there had to last us 6 months. And we learn how to make a meal out of it. We also learn how to run away too. And we also learn how to survive. But we've forgotten that because they've given us a pillow and air conditioner and we become comfortable on the plantation.
And that's what I was going to say. This was Yogi said, the cost of comfort.
The cost of comfort. And so we've complied.
Yeah.
We've complied with the system.
Yeah.
And so now we got to play the game of the system. Yeah. And we don't want to play the game. We're going to play the game, but not to the benefit of the rest of us, but to the sacrifice of the rest of us.
Oh, for sure. Because you're going to have to, what you got to do if you want to get that money.
Man, listen.
You cannot help your community.
You not can you not only help your community, you better not. And you also better make sure that you understand that when hey, it's your turn to get in the bed. What you mean? No. You don't understand this? It's your turn to get in the bed. Is that your girlfriend or your wife or your daughter or somebody giving up something? Yeah, and I don't want none of them. I want you. That's how they play the game.
And I think because like when we seeing this stuff, because I was gonna show the video, but I didn't want to put it up. When it's talking about, the thing we don't understand about war. Do y'all know people be getting raped in these situations when war start? See, they don't say none of that, do they? See, they forget about that part. What be going on? So I can kind of understand when people be coming back mentally messed up.
Yeah. Because what do you see? Now, and not only what do you see, but what are you forced to do?
Yeah. And this is what people, and we get caught up, and man, you were just talking about this before we came. Well, I was mentioning something to it. When I was saying, like, we over here tripping about, okay, they blew up a school with kids on it. Oh, I mean, we not tripping, but they wouldn't. America saying they ain't did that. We ain't did this. Israel saying they ain't did it. They want to put it on Iran putting it on them. And this was my theory. If you wouldn't have been over there, it couldn't have been put on you. But for us to say America couldn't do this, let's cut the games out. Do I gotta go pick up that book, 100 Lynchings of America?
Do we have to just go back and look at what happened over in Minnesota with a girl that killed 17 kids? I mean, it's
Sandy
Hook or Columbine or any of these other places.
See, they blew up black churches.
Okay. See, this 1963. Just because you hated black people.
Emmett Till.
Yeah, 1955 because you hated a black boy who supposedly whistled at a white woman, and that didn't happen. Yeah. All because of this white. So what? D.L. Hughley says this, and the more we think about it, the more you think about it, the more it is so fucking true. The worst place for black people to live is in the mind of white folks. Now just marinate in that a little bit, y'all. I told your cup of bro was gonna be hot this morning.
And what you saying, Ken, see, this is what Brother Robert say all the time. If you want them to listen to you, mess up their money. That's the only time it boycott.
Well, yeah. Well, look, these I don't even want to call them boycotts, so they're not true.
Fact.
Because maybe I'm old enough to understand or knowledgeable enough to understand that a boycott looks like what happened in Montgomery in 1955, 1956.
Facts.
That you don't just you're going to tell black people not to go to Target and black people still going to Target. And then when the money is withheld, where's that money being put?
Facts.
Because we don't have a black Target.
Facts.
Okay. We don't have a black Target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not run by black people, owned by black people. So when you have these people who are calling for boycotts because of a program that only white women benefited from, that means you're not doing your homework, number one. Right. And number two, what would you expect from a white company? What are you expecting?
That's what I'm trying to figure out too. I don't I understood the boycott back then. Like I said, we got things to show you what a boycott is. We got things to show you what revolutionaries is.
See, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, hell no. They seen what happened to Megan Everett. Listen, when I see these people here, right? When I see these people, don't, brother, listen to me on this. God, brother, no, I'm going to tell you something. And I don't want nobody to go. I remember one day, and this would just show me something. And I get it. What's going on? Loretta Thomas, most dangerous place for black people in the U.S. is this fool right here. But that's what I'm saying. There are areas, like I say, I'm just looking at it on this standpoint.
Maria Carter, that's your sister
cousin, yeah.
Oh, she a Marine? Oh, my.
Yeah, she was in our, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's what's up, baby.
Let me see what Mark Hutchins.
No, you gotta finish your thought first before we go there. Cause
no, see, with it, man. I remember I was doing something. I got to put this up in here. And Doctor Thomas Pedroni. When I had him on, and he had brought a couple Jewish people on. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was getting calls like, don't do it, man. You're going to do this. You're going to get in trouble. And I was like, damn, I'm looking at, and these was from black people, Brother Elliott. Let me tell you that. These are some black people. And I was like, why y'all? I thought y'all would want the truth out. You know what I'm saying? When this was going on. And let me tell you, them two Jewish guys, along with Dr. Pedroni, and they college professors, man, they was messing with their tenure because they didn't want this information out. And what made me flip, I was listening to the blacks. I got more calls from blacks. Was like, man, I wouldn't do that. You don't do that. I'm like, damn, but y'all can go at blacks. It's all right to call us out, but you can't go do that. And that's why I was like, when I be looking at Flint, I'm like, damn, man, we ain't really got them type of people.
No, we no longer have revolution. The revolutionary died. After that group in '67 that did the housing, with the redlining with the housing, and then a few brothers and sisters here that were Panthers in the '70s. After that, it was over with.
Yes, so that made me leave it alone.
Yeah, there's no more revolutionaries. That's dead.
Yeah. No, I'm you know what I'm saying? There might be some here we don't see, but I'm
because
like
they will be seen, and we will know them.
Yeah, because the ones presented to his family, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm telling you, these people are not listen, I believe if they got a call, they'll fold up.
No.
I believe they'll get a call. They'll probably get a call like, hey, look, we're gonna kill you if you mention this again, they'll fold up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I already see how certain stuff they'll go around here. They'll call each other out now. Don't get me wrong.
See, that's the watchdogs. That's what the watchdogs do. I don't have to look. I don't have an issue with somebody call me out on whatever. That's fine, and then allow me the opportunity to respond. But I'm not folding. Bump that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not folding. I'm not folding for you for what?
No, because I done had people will tell you like, man, I don't mess with that because you know this, and I'll be like, but I get it now. I'll be like, but it's all right for you to go at somebody that look like you.
But see, that's the thing. Because we won't attack. We've been trained not to attack the oppressor anymore.
Fact.
It don't matter whether they Jewish or regular white or whatever. If you're oppressing, you're oppressing. Period. But what they'll do, they'll put a black person in charge to make you look like the oppressor because you're doing their bidding.
Yeah.
So if we don't have leadership, and we don't have leadership, whether it be Sunday morning in the pulpit or whatever. We don't have real leadership. We don't, because leadership is going to work at making things better.
Facts.
And that's what leadership is. Leadership works at making things better. I saw somebody mention mentoring young people.
That was a cousin. She's like, okay, yeah, they need mentoring.
But we also have to have, just like you and Sister Winters got in the argument with the elders. where are they raising up the next level of young people to take over?
I'm glad because I had lost my thought for a minute. You're right on that.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm on it. Yeah, you're right. Because we don't know how to. I think Flint became such like.
But it's all across the country. It ain't just here.
Yeah. Well,
I was just away,
facts.
and it was saying the same thing with a group of people who are late 50s, early 60s to 70s on a trip who are still there, but where the young people at? No. We want to bring the young people up to take it to another level of mobility because they have access to things and knowledge of things that we don't. They use AI all the time. Let them use it in order to help out.
Yeah. But you know what I think it is, though, Brother Elliott? And I was having this conversation with my cousin this morning, and I think it was really probably my age group who kind of dropped the ball. And like I said, I'm 50. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, because I think we was, not all, but I want to say a lot of us dropped the ball on this aspect. We didn't like the way our parents was raising us.
Which was some bullshit. Our parents raised us properly.
Right. I mean, but this is the stuff that because I'm seeing how, what's up, the brothers tapping in, Rodney Thomas and Uncle Carl Lewis and Yogi. I saw your car, put it up too. I'm looking at it like with this aspect, like where we was more lenient with our kids.
And that was the worst thing to do.
And we wasn't supposed to do that, like our parents. Because me and my cousins, we was having a conversation. We was like, you remember when, my father used to tell me, like, man, you don't get no. Well, he was telling me my uncle. He was like, my uncle would be like, man, I'm not, we used to be like, oh, let us use the car. He would be like, man, I'm not finna give you no $40,000 car and you ain't got your license. You know what I'm saying? Well, my old man, I didn't have him. He would let me drive. And then I remember he used to say, man, I'm not smart for doing that. And he got on me about getting them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to understood that. And as I'm a parent, I'm like, hell no. Like, when my cousin was talking, I was like, man, see, we got caught up in the system where we thought, not everybody, but where we thought our parents was a little too hard on us. And really they wasn't.
No.
That's what we got to come up out of that. And that's what we got kind of lenient with our kids.
So now you see what we have, what we're dealing with in school.
Facts.
I'm going to take your phone. No, I'm going to take some ass.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still like that. When your niece, my daughter, was in taking her testing, right?
Right.
When she was in her AIT. She called me one time. It's too hard. I said, okay, I'm gonna catch a flight.
Mm-hmm.
So she FaceTimed me after her last test. They don't know what to do. They put me under a lot of pressure. I said, for real? I said, hold on. Who's your daddy? You are. She looked at me real crazy. You are. I said, so do you mean to tell me I got to bring my ass down there in order to beat? Oh, you better get your. Next thing I know, 98, 96, 94. What the fuck you mean 94, 92? What the hell? 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. She finished out with the last 6, 8 tests with hundreds. Because I'm expecting you deal with me or you deal with them. They ain't shit. I'm your dad. I'll take your fucking life. I don't give a fuck about you being in the military.
Yeah, but
we don't do that no more. What we do is, okay, everybody's gonna get a medal because and I'm gonna put you in timeout, and I'm gonna take your phone. Bullshit. That's not raising your child.
Right.
One time, I know folks got mad at me. I don't care. You motherfuckers not gonna eat this weekend. The whole fucking weekend. Why? You fucking up, you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, you ain't helping out around the house, you don't fucking eat. You don't work, you don't eat, period. We don't want to do none of that because it's cruel, because white folks say it's cruel. But what the fuck was you doing to us while we was on the plantation? What are you doing to us now?
Cruel.
So you mean to tell me we still listen to them about what's being cruel? No, you teaching order and discipline. Fine. I told my son, they just went out to a basketball tournament and they lost. I said, I don't want to hear shit because I told you what you should have been doing. And you don't want to listen. So now you come back and you tell me you lost. Yeah, it's your fault. You know why? Because you're my son. And that's the reason why y'all blew it. Because it's your fault. And I'm blaming you. He ain't like it. Guess what? Guess what he doing now? He in the gym, putting up extra shots, working on this, running. He doing okay. Now that's what I'm talking about. Because you don't want to hear me. But we're not parenting like that anymore. We're parenting, well, I bought my child at the age of 6 months a pair of $110 Jordans. Motherfucker, you better get them some stride right shoes so they can walk right and get their feet straight. We don't want to do that no more.
I was listening to a comedian. What he said his son come in and said, I need the new Jordans at 200. He said, can you dunk? Can you score 30 points? He went to breaking it down. He said, son didn't even want them no more.
Right.
He was like, if you Jordan, he said, I'll get them. But is you gonna do this stuff that this man doing, gliding through the air?
Right. And see, what we want to do is we want to make
shout out time.
We want to make our children's lives better, but we're not teaching them the tool. We're not giving them the tools to make their lives better themselves too.
Right.
I taught my son how to drive at 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
There were times that he went, hey, Dad, I'm going to take my girl out. Can I borrow some money? Yeah. But you keep on borrowing money, then I'm going to need to borrow your girl. That's what he did. He went and got a damn job. He went and got a job, and he had a job ever since.
Yeah. For sure. But no, that's truth, though. Because I remember my mom used to tell me stories like, he knew a friend. I missed them stories, but I'm sitting at the table. He was like, he had a friend. He said, he's like, that's why he didn't let no, you know what I'm saying? He didn't go with his friends and go get no money from him to get to that girl. He was like, that's some of the craziest stuff.
Right.
He said he saw a homeboy. He said they was young. He said then the girl ended up talking to the homeboy.
Right. Right, because I'm getting money from him anyway.
Yeah, he was like certain stuff. And I'm looking at because she said, white folks say you can't whoop your babies because it's abuse, but go to jail. It's okay to get the hell out of here. Right.
Listen, and that's also okay for you to get what happens in school. I'm telling you, they don't teach our kids like they teach their kids. I promise you.
Yeah.
That. I promise you that. I promise you that. Listen, bro. I don't give a shit what anybody says about how I raised my. Ain't none of my children been in jail. Ain't none of them got no children out of wedlock or out of whatever. I don't give a damn.
No, he said you're correct though.
Right. Yeah, because there are probably some cities you being harsh. Yeah. Don't bring your child around me, because if you don't correct that child before, I'm gonna correct the child. I don't give a damn. And I've done that before with somebody. They can do what they want to. Okay, well, up, get the fuck out of my car. Get out of my car. Take your kid with you. We done. No, I don't give a damn about none of that, because here's the other part: is they don't see the world the way we see the world.
Right.
We see the world as black men. We see the cruelty in the world, and as a teacher. And I've seen it for 32 years. I've seen the cruelty that goes on in those four walls as well. Okay? So whether they care or not, I don't give a damn whether they like how hard I am. You ain't got to be with me. It don't matter. I'm not here to be their friends. I don't give a damn about my son is 25. Just turned 25 a couple weeks ago. Not my friend. It's my son. My daughter just turned 24 in January. That's my daughter. I'm not her friend.
Facts.
I have nephews. They're nieces and nephews and daughters or whatever. I'm their dad or they pop or whatever. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. We're not equal. There's not a damn thing that's equal about us. There's a kid that took the roll of paper. He was being playful the other day, and he tapped me on the hat. I said, "What? Oh, almost cussed him. What the fuck you doing? Don't you ever do that shit to me? Right. The fuck, I ain't your friend." Right. Oh, my fault, Mr. McCants. You damn right. Don't you? Right. You do that shit one more time, I'm gonna bang your ass up against the wall. Understand? See, this is the thing. You got to give them respect. No, the fuck we don't. They have to give us respect because we've been walking this path longer than them. Stop that bullshit. You're supposed to respect my child. Respect your child as a human. But if your child get disrespectful, I'm getting right back with their ass. You can bring your ass up there too. You can get some of it as well. I don't give a damn. We lost that.
Facts.
We lost that because everybody got to be treated equally.
Facts.
How? How the fuck is a 10-year-old and I'm 62? We gonna be equal. You crazy as fuck if you think I'm gonna treat my child the same way as I'm gonna treat Mick or Winters or y'all. Right. No, motherfucker, this ain't your room. Go get your ass, get out of here. If we talking, don't open your fucking mouth. And if we talking about certain stuff, you don't belong here. But there's certain stuff I want you to listen to, but you're gonna shut your mouth, sit down and listen unless you have a question and make some damn sense. That means you need to learn how to be quiet and think. But we don't do that no more. We let them come in the room. We having conversations that are inappropriate for young people to hear. We put nails on them. We putting in the hair weave and all this other bullshit. And then one of the reasons why they out there 10, 11, 12 years old fucking.
Got a point. You got a point.
Okay. Because if you raising them to be grown and not raising them to be children, because they got a shorter time to be a child than they do to be an adult. Yeah, 17, 18 years as a child.
And that's quick.
And that's fast. Hopefully, they get another 60, 80 years to be an adult. And that's a long period of time. So why the hell are you trying to make your child grown at 9, 10, 11 years old, 12 years old, when they hopefully you've raised them so that we got oh my God, Mr. Span, baby, what? Okay.
Yeah, I had him
up here. Hopefully your child has been raised in order to understand and know that they got a longer time to be an adult than they do a child. But we don't do that no more. We want to give them this and they come around to school with Coach bags. I'm not saying they shouldn't have shit nice, but where the fuck they earn it at?
Yeah, but how you got down in $700, $800, maybe $1,000 worth of clothes on and got a 1.2?
Man, dumbest box of fucking rocks.
Can't read past the 3rd or 4th grade.
You can't even read past nothing.
Yeah, but that, like I say, that goes back to the parents again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the excuses, well, I didn't do so well in school, so that's your fault. That's your fault or your parents' fault. How much time and energy did you put into it? I'm going to say this again. My mom had her high school diploma. I didn't know my dad didn't have his until he retired from the foundry and he was going to school. I thought he was taking college courses. He wasn't. He was getting his high school diploma. His grades was better than mine. It was my job to challenge myself to beat his grades. And we don't do that no more. It's okay. I'm gonna send you to your room. Motherfucker, I got everything in my own. I don't need to come out of this motherfucker. I got a refrigerator, microwave, TV, PlayStation 5. What the fuck I'm going? Okay, send me in my room. I don't give a damn.
And we wondering why they ain't out kids that's not outside, because you got them in the house being programmed.
All day, listening to playing some dumb shit.
Killing games. Yeah. And then we wondering when they get down there 14, 15, they be ready to kill.
All day they're playing GTA and Call of Duty. Yep. You buy them that. And it clearly says it's supposed to be a label on, but because they bug you, then guess what? They let them get it. Yeah. Come on, man. And then we wonder the reason why Johnny can't read and Sally can't read and Shaquana can't read and all these other people, young people can't read and they can't do this and do that or do the other. And then I've had it where I had kids want to get an attitude with me. Motherfucker, you can't read your own name. Because what I'm going to do if I tutor you or mentor you or whatever you want to call it is I'm going to be hard on you because this is bullshit. But you walk around talking about I can ball. Fuck out of here.
Listen, I bring up, and I know you're familiar with this person, Dexter Manley.
Man.
How did he make it to the Redskins? How did he make it through college and couldn't read?
Couldn't read, 3rd grade reading level. He's in jail right now for the remainder of his life.
So did not society fail him?
No, his parents failed.
And the schools.
And the schools.
Because they pushed him through this.
Why? I'm not even, okay. I got to take my hat off. Now my head didn't get hot. Shit. It made me take my hat off. Listen. The schools are designed to do what they do. Number one. You may have exceptional people in there that try and give something else. The onus is on us to work together to make sure that we don't have things like Dexter Manley and some of these other people that have gone by the wayside. The school system failed them. The college failed them. The Redskins failed him because they only needed him for his talent. They needed him to only be a football player. When his career was over, he didn't know what else to do, so he turned to some sort of crime. And I think he's still in jail.
Terrible.
At the end of the day, when we had real community schools with real community school directors, it is incumbent upon the real people that are in the system as well as families to say, look, we need to save our children.
Facts.
Other than that, just take them and throw them in the pond for the gators again, because that's exactly what we're doing. Except for the gators got the mouth goes sideways and it clings when it closes and it locks down a different way. We're doing that. Okay, we're throwing our young people away on purpose, and it's part of the design. And folks act like they are not clear about what's going on because you don't want to open your eyes. You can't possibly think that somebody could have it out for me and my children. There's absolutely no way.
Ain't that something right there? Ain't that some shit right there that the reality is? Well, good morning, Jazzy Melody. I see what you're saying, Yogi G. She said, I made a decision. I'll put it up here, read it before. She said, I made a decision to go back to school just to walk what I was talking. It totally changed the dynamics of my education and prioritized me and mine are learning together. Your grades got to match mine.
Yep. But then you have parents who will complain that say because they can't read, then it's okay for my child not to read. My love for books come from a man who didn't have a high school diploma, who dropped out of school at the 10th grade in order to go fight in a war and was stationed in Tuskegee.
Oh, wow.
Right. So when I'm 4 or 5 years old, I'm reading, I'm leaning over his brown, I'll never forget it. We got a brown lazy boy chair sitting in the back, laying in the back. I'm behind him with the lamp on. He got the lamp on. He's reading this book called Winds of War by Herman Wouk. I still got the book. It's on my bookshelf. And when I was 8 and could understand what the hell reading was, 8 or 9, he gave me the book. He said, now you got to read it. You've been over my shoulder, all of these things. You never forgot it. Been leaning over my shoulder all of this time. Next thing I know, he could be asking me once a week, what's going on with chapter 1? What's going on with chapter 2? And I had to know. So then I go downstairs and find all of the volumes written by Shakespeare. Get the fuck away from me. This motherfucker's been hiding gems in the house the whole time. Down in the basement where we go and build model airplanes at.
I see what Raphael Burr said. He said that's because they can't see it for themselves.
No. And you're not trying to, because we're living in the right now instead of tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's never promised. That's bullshit. Stop living that way. Stop living that way. And that's a whole nother show.
But
stop living that way.
Now I understand when they be saying the re-education of the Negro.
Right.
You do have to be re-educated.
Listen, baby, let me tell y'all this. I'm a product of Flint's community schools. They're getting ready to tear down my old high school in April to build a new conceptualized school. The 4 walls that we grew up in are there for indoctrination. And I'm telling you this as a teacher. Unless you get people like dumb enough like my dumb ass that will teach them other stuff on purpose and have your children learn other things on purpose just to learn them. Okay. I have a sidebar, and I'm coming back to my thought. I have 6th graders who are going to be going to middle school next year. So 2 of their final projects is after this bullshit testing is over with, is they're going to build model rockets and also build a weather station. Just for some extra to do, some more scientific. But you know what goes into building a rocket and all of the science that goes into building a rocket? Guess what we get a chance to watch before that? Hidden Figures. Because you got to understand all of this shit that goes into how they calculate that. You got to do the same thing for your rocket too. What they do on Coming to America? Okay.
For sure.
So, and before we go fly and launch the rockets, we have to go and read the weather station to make sure that the conditions are proper to go fly them. And you so this is a new skill, right? It's like this some shit we used to do. I went to Scott School. I don't know what it's called, ALA or whatever the fuck it's called now. There's a creek that ran by the school that we used to make that our teachers, we're going to go out here and count fish and crayfish. And look for crayfish in the wintertime. And then you might find a crayfish that got eggs on it. You got to count the eggs on the crayfish and put it back and then go back in a couple weeks to see if the eggs hatched. That's science shit. Not this bullshit now where, we're going to just put it on video because kids are crazy enough in order to want to hurt themselves and this and that and other and all this other stuff.
Facts.
Okay. And you're right, Mr. Lewis. We have to continue to learn. Everybody wants to be an internet scholar. So therefore, what do people do? They put a bunch of stuff on the internet, and I'm glad our show is over an hour long. You know, they put stuff on the internet, 15, 2-minute clip, 3-minute clip. Them motherfucker think they know some shit instead of going back researching. That's what you use this stuff for. Use the show to go back and research some things that I've said after you go, and then you become more knowledgeable.
Brother Raphael telling some stuff. Let me put it up right here. He said, well, tell you both what happened to me. When I lost my sight, I was afraid I was not going to be able to read again. I got the technology and bought more books, read more than I was in school.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Shout out to Raphael Bird.
That's right. That's right, big bro. That's right. Shout out to you.
Yeah,
I'm still not running for council, though. Fuck them.
I know you want to go run.
I'm not running for that bullshit.
We already was having issues.
Just the thought of it was causing me some. I don't have panic attacks, but I'm gonna just use it.
No, I know it did. Listen, man. Listen, Art came on here. I tell you, Joel came on. Art came on here. We got some. Montez came on here. You know, there's a lot of people who don't want to come on here because they're scared to get they don't want to get caught. That got you moment.
Well, and here's the thing. It's not about being able to get you.
Yeah.
What it is about, we want to know, what are you going to do for the residents of the city? And we're going to hold you accountable. That's all.
That's what I was thinking. When I was here, like I said, I was getting calls out people. No, they don't. I'm like, you know me, I don't care if you come or don't come. I'm going to just be honest with you. We're giving you a platform to come on to talk. But I'm not tripping because I feel like we're gonna pop up when they had a debate.
Anyway,
then I'm gonna be like, hey, you got anything you want to say? Put you on front then.
Yep.
So, it don't matter to me. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? To me, I like I said, I just think until we can get change the leadership that we got in Flint to real. I mean, I ain't gonna say. I don't want to say this. Like it seems like the light has kind of dimmed on the leadership in Flint on the black side.
Thank you. See, there we go. Miss Maria Carter.
Yeah.
You say, right. We want to know what your plan is. And we also want to know, I'm going to be able to dissect it. I'm going to tell you, I had a friend, he lives in Arizona now, an associate that came and he ran for school board president. Hey, why do you come to me and you know I'm a teacher and that's cool, but would you vote for me? Why? What are you doing? What's your plan? What plan are you going to have as a school board president in order to be able to move the school system forward and create opportunities and create learning opportunities for our young people to be better, more highly educated. Okay. So if you don't have a plan, I'm not voting for you. So I didn't vote for him. He got elected anyway. It's because he worked for the fire department. He had friends that went and voted for him because of that. It wasn't by me. And I still didn't see nothing change. This is the thing. I'm tired. So for people, if I'm focused on the school board, how many of those people got education? And are educators? The more importantly than that, how many of you all that are sitting on the school board are educators? And if there are none, get the fuck off because you have no clue what the fuck's going on, right? Yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes. Had a discussion with a couple parents yesterday. I was tutoring at the library. And I come to find out that the testing that they give our young people is not straight, right? So the better you score on a certain set of questions, the more difficult they make it, right? That's wrong as hell. Let's give it to them flat and straight.
Facts.
Because then you'll get a true test and a true scale of how they really do, how well they do or don't do in school. If you standing on a roof and you trying to get down, I keep moving the ladder, then what you eventually gonna do? Either you're gonna fall or you're gonna stay on the roof and say, I'm not coming down.
You're right.
So what you're doing with our children is you make this test so it's quote unquote interactive, but it's never, ever a true scale of what a student knows if it continues to get more difficult based upon the fact that, oh man, maybe I'm good at geometry and shapes and I'm scored really well. So you raise up the level. So if you're a 5th grader, now the level goes up to 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade until you start to fail. That's unfair.
Facts. But it's the system though.
That's my point.
Yeah, you're right. It's the system. Like I said, remember I sent you that 1 in 10 Black where he had that teacher on there talking about the Board of Education,
right? How
things got set up, far as how the superintendent's getting all this money. Like they paid this out. To me, they creating this situation. Look, they ain't building more jails for nothing, brother.
No, hell no. The jails on Prime, and I got to go watch it before they take it off. Is a documentary called School to Prison Prime. We've been talking, man, when Bill Cosby came here and he caused all of that ruckus that people get mad about because he so-called aired our dirty laundry. No, he didn't. We've been talking about that shit.
Because it was him.
Oh, because it was him, people got mad. Well, you got to remember, he got a doctorate in child psychology. It was him and Dr. Alvin Poussaint who did the child with the Dow test. It was both of them who wrote the Cosby Show.
So B. Marie.
So what the hell y'all mad at him for? And then even you still mad at him over some allegations. Get the fuck out of here.
Because that was, that was fabricated. You know why? Because
you already know.
Because we can.
You already know.
TV, we can pick and choose who we be mad at.
Yep.
But did you notice when nobody mad at Harvey Weinstein?
No, not Harvey Weinstein, not the one dude on the
Kevin
one show.
Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. Yeah. You ain't mad at them.
Yeah.
But you get mad. Now, I understand. Mm-hmm. But let the allegations be true.
Yeah.
How in the hell you gonna prove? Y'all can't, you don't have or somebody that you messed around with when you was 17, 18 don't have their DNA in them no more. They don't. That's gone. Especially if they had children, because that DNA's been washed out.
Right.
So how can you prove on hearsay?
Because that's what they do now. That's what
especially the who?
Blacks.
Okay.
That's what they do hearsay.
Yeah, okay.
So
then the sad part was we jumped on the bandwagon and believed it too.
Yeah. I'll give you a prime example. Thrill Kill. The good brother, Reverend Thrill Kill. I remember, and I see what you said, Mark, and this what made me think about it. And this one, Mark, maybe they said, if you think about it over the last 2 generations, the 2 black mayors before Neely got recalled by black people, and each time the things got worse. Hopefully, Flint learned his lesson. We'll see. And this is what I want to tell you. You know what Thurl Kell told me?
Mm-hmm.
He said when they was having a meeting to recall Woodrow Stanley. That's why he said he will not do a recall.
Yep.
No more. He said he was there like, yeah. He said, but it was the whites that was leading us to do this. He said he said when he was looking at it, like, yeah, he gotta go. He said we sitting up in there. He said when he sat down, he's like, damn. He was like, we letting the whites tell us we should be mad, but what about the white mayors that screwed us over?
Yep.
And he was like, that's why he didn't want to. He even with Mayor Neely, he said, I don't want to do the recall. He said he was against it when they did the Karen Weaver. He said, I seen it from when it was did on. Mm-hmm. Woodrow Stanley,
right?
The former mayor, rest his soul, and the former mayor Karen Weaver. Yep. He said it was the whites that he said got with us. We all going at them. He said, but we the one looking at these was the same. He's like they were still playing us. He said at the end of the day, we got Dan Whaling. What happened? Whaling.
Nothing, not a damn thing.
And ain't nobody mad at him. And he was the cause of the water crisis.
Yep, he was the mayor during the water crisis.
Didn't even want, you know what I'm saying?
And he didn't get nothing. No slap on the wrist. Not let me rub your hand. Let me put some baby oil on your hand. He didn't get none of that.
I remember my uncle checked his ass because he was teaching a class over at U of M when he was the mayor. So I ain't playing what I'm finna tell you. He was like, and I forgot he was class because my uncle's house was rest his soul, he no longer here with us, but his house right there in Carristown, know where Durant them got the statues at.
Yeah.
He was like, Wayling had a class. Uncle sitting out there. He said he let him twice. He let like 5-10 minutes go because he said I know he was the mayor. He said he went right over there where he was at. He said, "How you the mayor on a city time, but you teaching a class
and getting paid for it?"
Yeah. He said, "How you doing that?" He said, "Well, got his class. They got on down." And he was like, "This is the game they've been playing. But if that was a black mayor, you know what I'm saying?" He was like, "You'll see the difference." See, we tend to let. And I'm not trying to be black, trying to call it, but this is just what it is. But see, when it's, I'll give you another example if y'all don't want to believe that. Do y'all know it wasn't just black cities that was in the red? It was white cities when Governor Granholm, when she sent the emergency, the Snyder sent, because Granholm, they did the emergency manager. But when Snyder sent them in, do you know it was white cities that was in the red? All you gotta do is go pull up Rachel Maddow on MSNBC back during that time because she did a special on it. It will show what white cities in the state of Michigan was in the red, but they only put emergency managers where the black mayors was at.
So if we're not talking about how racism is entrenched in this country, and you can't sit around there, it's part of the American fabric. It's just as red, white, and blue as the red, white, and blue of the flag.
No, I'm
okay.
Yeah.
So if that's in politics, that's in education, it's in every healthcare, it's in every system there. So why do we still participate?
We indoctrinated. I'm looking at, we have Stockholm syndrome.
Yep, that's
it. I'm looking at this right here. What B. Marie said. Remember, it was former council member Ali Hokenroder who was pushing the removal of Miss Anna's but the late Quincy Murphy put it on the floor. I'm looking at this with Mark Hutchins. After Stanley got recalled, they put Rutherford in to take his place. Rutherford Flint, police chief in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. You know what he was.
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, this is the game. But see, it be our people who be in these situations. They were the token ones. They get a few, they can control the many, i.e. our pastors.
That's it right there.
You know what I'm saying? Our spiritual leaders who be on the tape.
They're not spiritual leaders. They be on some bullshit.
Yeah. But
that's because we saw that when you had the concerned pastors who we don't even know, you clowns.
Facts.
And you'll come up there talking about we should have peace. But you're not addressing the issue in the first place. Address that issue, and then you talk to him, and then you can talk to the people. What's the issue in the first place? People still have complaints about something that you claim is fixed. This is supposed to be done, that's supposed to be done, and nothing's happening. So then you're not addressing those issues if you're concerned about anything.
Want me to give you a latest one? The lovely Michelle Young to be in here. She put in the chat. She from here. She put a thing, a complaining at the ENA board. They was able to bring up stuff on the council people before they got to hers, and she took it to Joe King. Oh, you know what Joe King did? Nothing. We got to get back to that. This was been on the book for damn 3 years, but you able to call who the mayor wants you to call up and chastise. That's how the ENA board worked. Okay. She went there. I didn't took it like, Joe, this was it right here. This is, she been turned this in. Even allegedly at the time, who was the ombudsman, it was filed. But with this board that you got, it only go after who the mayor want them to go after.
So then the board is ineffective as well.
All the boards in Flint is ineffective, to be honest with you. All of them, from the council to the school board, you name a board. Look at the MOP where they got a lady. She bringing their religious things in it. Over at the MOP college board, go look at that. How they trying to sweep that up under the rug. Go look at that. Go look at that. How they trying to sweep what she did up under the rug. See, they ain't looking at it now. You got a lot of these right Christians. It's just look at that.
Therein lies the issue.
Yeah, I looked at the mayor's show.
Keep your religious and spiritual views out of the way. It's like you and I talked about when we want to do this. Don't bring that here. We want to know what a plan is. Yeah. If you don't have one, then I don't want to hear you talk about what your ideological and philosophical idea is. I don't care nothing about that. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. We're in a crisis.
The mayor using it. He had a Pastor Pettigrew on yesterday on his show.
I know who that is. I used to work with him over at International.
I had him on his show talking about the bringing God work in. But you know what he didn't say, Mayor? The water not clean. He ain't say that. He's not gonna
say that because he was the one that spoke when he was the concerned pastor. The rest of them just stood there.
See this right here? See this? I'm finna put it on the screen. B. Marie. That's exactly what I be talking about when I talk about the Timu Boule. Yesterday, Black Lives Matter honors ENA board member Trishelle Young Bolden. But remember, she took down Mrs. Shasta Little from her position as the unbuzzed person. See what I'm saying? But these same people gonna tell you who you need to vote for.
But so then how is it that
it's the game? It's the game.
So if this is
man, I had that woman messed up.
Black Lives Matter.
That woman cried when they took that job from her, man.
And what was the reason for taking the job?
Because Neely didn't want her in there because she was Miss Shasta Little really would be trying to do the work for the people, but she's not part of that clique.
So then at the end of the day, he needs to be moved.
No, he want her out. No, he been trying to get her out. He stripped her of her position from Joe King, Trishelle Young, the one lady that got there, Lalicia Williams. Let me show you how gangster she was. Her first day she got on there, she voted to remove Miss Shasta Little because from the one guy, Doug, that was coming down there, he put his little play in and got Miss Shasta Little out. See, Neely lose people around here to do little things for him, for his hands can be clean. You know what I'm saying? You know, so, and then like he had a camera over her office to see who was coming in. You wasn't supposed to do that. Oh, yeah. This man, he gangster. Like, when you talk about micromanaging, he gangster. That's like even with, what's her name, Davina. They said the clerk office post, she said it's independent. But now we finding out when shit coming out, it's not so independent. It's not so independent. Residency stuff. Now, don't get it twisted. Davina learned that from Miss Inez Brown. And Davina just carrying on because Miss Inez Brown learned it from somebody. These ain't nothing but, lessons that's been learned through time. It's just, to me, in my humble opinion, that this mayor just out of his greed, and the people that he picked as his supporting council members was just greedy and they messed up. So we started to see, because you see Liddell mad. They said, Mickey, and remember, Mickey, they fired that woman publicly on video. That was sad thing and completely that buzz woman, Miss Shasta Little. That's how they fired her. We was recording it.
Okay.
But see, they had a plan to get her removed, to be honest with you. So they had a plan to do this. They knew what they was doing. They knew exactly, like I say, Joe King in on it. All them people was in on it. Even, let's be honest, the president, now, don't get me wrong, he cool to me. But as far as this political BS, his mama was getting opera money. You think he was going to vote against what the mayor said?
Who is that?
The president of the ENA board now.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Mr. Harris.
Okay.
Elder Harris, as he called himself. He got caught down there at the city council asking Liddell them, who do y'all want as the ombudsman? Not me. I didn't care. It got brought back to us. He got caught down there. We was able to put it back out there. But you see what I'm saying? He didn't know who was listening. Wow. You was in on it. Your mama down there got $300,000-400,000 in ARPA money. You think she gonna say anything? You think? See, Trishelle spearheaded the whole. But I remember asking her one day, I'm like, well, you show you how shook up they be at us, Brother Elliott, when me and Winters go. Trishelle Young went to explaining about a case that she had.
Because she's a lawyer.
Yeah, okay. But she said she don't talk. She leave that when she come in.
No, you don't. You can't.
I know she was just.
Yeah, you can't, because I don't leave being a teacher out wherever I go. I'm a teacher all the time.
Thank you. That's why I didn't say nothing, but it just showed you how shook up they be, because Winters was asking her something, and she went to a whole nother thing, because they on the defense when we come down there.
Okay.
See, it's just the mayor. If they see us, it's already defense.
Yeah.
And she was coming down and asked something about council.
Because you know what's getting ready to happen when school's out.
Yeah, but you gonna see,
baby.
You about to see what's finna happen.
They gonna be mad as shit.
You gonna see
always be on somebody.
You gonna see what's happening. That's just like the ENA board. They putting people on the ENA board who ain't even showed up. Like I said, Lalisha Williams got there her first day. She voted to get rid of Miss Shasta Little. How can you vote on something you don't even know what's going on? But these are the type of people we supposed to believe that's coming to help the residents of Flint.
No, right. Well, then that's got to be one of the main questions. Because I swear to God, if that one senator ever come back or whatever she's supposed to be that killed these
Rivet.
Yep, it's a wrap, bro. She getting ready to be put or crucified. So y'all getting ready to have 2 crucifixions.
I don't think you might have should have said it on here because they probably gonna ban us from coming and say RSVP now. For the meeting.
That's all right. We'll put on some makeup and come down there.
It's like
we'll come down.
It's like,
we'll come down there.
But see, this even rough right here would be Marie saying. I remember it was put out that Trishelle Young was giving money from, I believe, the community block grant funds. See what I'm saying?
But why though? Why are people giving money to people and they already go ahead? I know you're gonna answer it. And they're already working a job and have a position, unless you're doing it in order for it sounds like a bribe.
You know what it is.
Okay, all right.
You know what it is. Like, why would you? You know what I'm saying? Like, even just think about it. Good morning, the lovely Sherry Allen. Just think about this. Remember, the mayor's wife, state rep, Cynthia Neely.
Mm-hmm.
A fake nonprofit was finna get $25 million for her and her cohorts. The school, the Kevin Jones was just down there to Lansing asking for $8 million to get some schools tore down.
Right.
What would the state rep in on that?
Right.
Well, what about that 25? Like Clark did make some sense. Hella sense. Why was you trying to get $25 million for a fake nonprofit? Now, ain't nobody understood that. A fake nonprofit.
So how was it fake though?
Because the people said it was.
Oh, okay.
No, when they did it, didn't have no
no board.
Yeah, none of that. It was a fake nonprofit. And that's how the Republicans shut it down, right? But why she didn't get in trouble? And that's what I mean by the Republicans, even the Democrats. You know why she didn't get in trouble? Because even though the Republicans know that was a fake nonprofit, what about they fake nonprofit?
They got them too.
So they can't blow the game. They just stopped it on her not getting it because they in charge now. And that's what so when you see it's like, and I get it. Maurice went to try to go to Trump to get some help to fix the water. But as you can see it was a Republican and Democrats. Neither one don't care about Flint and his water getting fixed. And I'm just wondering when we wake up and realize that neither party don't really give a damn.
Left wing, right wing, same bird.
And think about what Trevor told us, because this Auntie Judy is part of the Genesee County Republican, told him when he was running, Flint a little too dark for me. That's a Republican party. Flint a little too dark.
Like that.
So that's what I'm saying. So when we sitting up here act like we don't understand what's going on, like are we the elephant with the rope around our neck since we're adults and no chain no more?
Yeah. Actually, they don't even have to put a rope. They just show you the rope and you just put it on yourself.
Because that's us now.
Yeah. Yep. We're not serious about fights. The only thing we want to do is get in positions in order to be able to get a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
We're not serious about, making the changes that are necessary in order to make this place better. We're not serious about education.
Mm-mm.
We're not serious about anything. There's no way a school board should be full of people who are not educated, who have not been educators. No way.
I agree with you.
There's no way that people like you in the library, but you never been in the library.
I agree with you.
There's no way that you are a city council person and you're not taking care of the people that you're supposed to represent.
Oh, know the rules. Remember the one fella that was at the ENA he said they need to take classes on how civics work, government work.
Right. No, and you don't know how government works because you don't pay attention. Because the other part about that is things have been so corrupt and out of order that the rules don't matter no more. That's like saying, well, you and I can run a race,
right?
And I know I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna get a trophy the same size as yours because I participated. That's bullshit.
Nah.
You the second place is the first place loser.
Facts.
That's what you get. You don't get nothing.
Nah, it's chip or nothing.
It's either you get the whole deal or you get nothing. You don't get, he got chips and guacamole, and at least I got chips, so I'm cool with the chips. Mm-mm. No, it's nothing. Be hungry.
Facts. That's how you make champions.
That's how you make champions.
Breed them.
All right, family. We done took enough of your time.
I'm leaving my book up here when we do start. So
yeah, right Tuesday.
Right here.
Because I sent you something from Dr. John Henry Clark.
Oh, yeah.
We want to start with that. We want to start with that.
I got you.
We're going to start with that on Tuesday.
You.
All right, family. There's a Republican. She, man, did nothing. We don't even give her a label, whether it be Republican, Democrat, or nothing. She ain't even, none of these people are worth anything.
Mm-mm.
You know, because they're in it for the wrong reasons. They're not in it to help people, which is what you're supposed to be there for. You're supposed to be there. The job of leadership is to be servants to people. That's the job. That's the job.
Servants. You heard what he said. Servants, not benefiting all the time.
No, you can benefit. But anyway, on that note, fam, we love y'all. Thank you for joining us. Sorry we've been out for a minute. We'll see y'all on Tuesday.
Peace.